lovely people, welcome to another video. It is time for a Pawrico 2024 update. My name is Athena. I am a brand new writer, very brand new writer, trying to write my first book whilst homeschooling my two girls and being with them 24/7. So, where are we right now? Small thing for anyone who doesn't know what Pawrico is, it is a writing challenge taking place over the 3 months of November, December, January. You can pick your own path. You can do only November, you can do November, December, you can do November, December, January, you can do only December, January. It's basically picking your own path. You can edit, you can draft, you can write, you can do whatever, whatever you are, wherever you are in your writing journey, there is a path for you within this challenge, and I absolutely love that. So, my challenge is to have a finished draft 3 by the end of January. That is the goal. November for me became prepping month. And so far, what I have done today is the 11th of November. It is the 11th day of Pawrico. I mean, I'm trying not to feel behind. I'm not feeling too behind, honestly, because there are members of Pawrico who are updating their progress and they're in similar positions as me. Even Rain, who is one of the amazing women who have created this challenge, is in a kind of similar position, so that really makes me feel okay. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just me being completely like not functioning, my brain's not functioning. It's the process. Okay? Okay. So, this bad boy here is draft 2. My little clip is coming out. There we go. This is draft 2, 124,500 words of draft 2. I finished reading this on Saturday, so just like not 2 days ago technically, but yeah. So I finished reading that on Saturday. I was super happy and super excited once I finished it because I feel like 80% of it I can work with. 20% needs to be like scrapped, rewritten completely, but I can actually work with it. Like I was terrified I would finish reading it and I'd be like, I can't work with any of this. There's nothing to edit. There's nothing to like, oh my God. However, I definitely can work with this. I can definitely like put it like, you know, set up a beat sheet based on this. I can figure out what I need, what's missing, what I need to add. I can work with this. I'm very, very happy and proud of myself for this. Now, that is not to say that I didn't have a total meltdown yesterday. So I initially planned on filming this little update yesterday on Sunday, like the day after I finished reading, and I was technically the day I should be planning out how to move forward now with the rest of my November prepping month, basically. However, I had a total breakdown because I did not know what to do first. My initial plan had been to work on world building, the magic system, the geography, the general, like the religion, just all the various like little parts. I know a lot about most of those parts, but there are things that I kind of need to clarify and just write down and organize in a way where I can reference them as I'm writing, as I'm rewriting draft 3 basically, so that I make sure that I'm staying consistent and that I'm adding information as needed in a timely fashion, right? So I need like a kind of reference point so that I know everything is always consistent, basically. Consistency is key. However, what then happened was I kind of started bouncing between, I need to set up a beat sheet, I need to set up world building, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, just multiple things kind of started popping up in front of me in my mind's eye, basically. And I just froze. My little ADHD brain was just like, I can't do this. Where do I start? So I just sat there doing nothing, basically. And I have to say, I picked this up at one point and started kind of looking through it. Small interruption, you know, so what was I even saying? Yes, I got a bit overwhelmed yesterday, had a bit of a breakdown. I did pick up this at one point. So I have my main characters. I have a lot, like there's a lot in this draft. Like my draft, I have a lot of, like, I know a lot about my characters. I know a lot about like any tropes. I haven't used tropes as in like to look up the tropes and then try and put them into my book. It's just kind of how things have flown and the ideas that have kind of come in my mind. And some of them kind of correspond to tropes or can be kind of, you know, tidied up and made to, you know, into tropes. I thought, however, that, you know, it would be a good thing to read up some craft books and kind of do some research and, you know, do a bit of reading so that draft 3 can be the best it can be. I overwhelmed myself. Again, I overwhelm myself. But so yeah, so yesterday was a bit of a breakdown session. I tried to read through like the maiden and the hero. It's like writing archetypal characters. I'm not even that. That's just that. Just that. The hero's journey and beyond. So it kind of has like character arcs of various main archetypal characters. So I thought this would be really handy to kind of just go through as a general idea, not necessarily, I'm not basing my story necessarily on a lot of these things. It's just kind of an extra helping hand. Now, again, I got super overwhelmed, so I barely did anything yesterday. So today's plan is very simple. I am going to go over my craft books. I'm going to decide what I'm going to use from them and how I'm moving forward. Fun fact, I did manage to kind of clear my head and figure out how to move forward today last night when I had my shower. I am realizing showers are it's the time when I am able to sort out plot holes, scenes that I need to like I need to create a specific scene to kind of sort out a situation. Showering. I need to figure out where my character is going. Showering. Everything, my brain just functions when I'm having a shower. It is what it is. I do think, if we're being honest and real right now for a second, before we move on to like more writing crafty part of this vlog, I do think it's because it's the only time I have alone. Like, no one can interrupt me in the shower. Those are 10 to 20 minutes of just me time where I can't hear anything because of the sound of the shower and just everything. I can't hear anything. So anything outside the door is just non-existent to me. So I'm able to actually just hear myself think. And that kind of helped, So, as I said, before I jump into showing you the craft books I'm going to be using, my initial plan had been to start working on world building, and then probably around the 20th of November, I was going to start doing like beat sheets and whatnot. However, what I realized last night in the shower was I can't really do that and have it make sense for me at least. Meaning, I need to first plug in my draft as it is into the beat sheet. So I'm going to set up a beat sheet. I have, let me show you guys. I need to show you these. Okay, hold on. So yes, this is a shoebox. Hubby put them all in the shoebox so that the girlios don't see them, but So I went ahead and grabbed a whole bunch of like, look at this, look at that. I'm such a stationery, like I love stationery. I live for stationery. Like we got Post-it notes. We've got just all the Post-it notes, all the, I have like my little page flags. So I have like a whole bunch of stuff in here that are going to be used on, let me show you. Okay, that's my little desk space. Ta-da! I bought a ginormous whiteboard. So the idea for the whiteboard, and actually fun fact, there's no holes. Like in rentals here in Australia, you can't drill holes and whatnot. It's a bit tricky business. The owners actually had like these hooks up there, and hubby had to do a little bit because one is kind of higher than the other. It's kind of weird, strange, if you can see that. Hubby had to do a bit of, working around doing his own thing. He figured out a way to hang that up there for me, and I'm just, yes! So I have my little, let me pop you guys down, hold on, before I get talking again. There we go. Everything's a mess in this room, but that's fine. So I now have my board up there. I am going to first set up, I'm going to use my trusty Save the Cat Writes a Young Adult novel. This actually has more information than this, or different issue information, like a couple chapters worth, I would say. So I feel like it was worth the purchase. So I do want to go over it though. I haven't read it properly. So I'm gonna use these bad boys here, and I'm going to set up a beat sheet. Mostly just not using like my proper index cards that I have for the proper end storyboard that I'm going to be using to write, but just maybe using some basic Post-it notes, or even just writing with my markers, like my whiteboard markers on the whiteboard itself, and just kind of plugging in the general scenes, the general idea of what I have right now. And then once I have that on the board, then I feel like I'll be able to have like a full view of what I have right now and what I have to insert, because I do know I need, for example, I know I need to insert my villain a lot more. I need to make her more prominent. I need to, and yes, I do have a female villain in the first book. It's a series. It's probably, I haven't decided if it's going to be a duology or a trilogy. I think that has to do with how this book is going to end up, as in word count wise, because depending on how big it is, I'm going to have to kind of, you know, but we'll see. We'll see how we're going to go with the storylines. So back to what I was saying. I'm going to set up a beat sheet, like a temporary, you know, an initial beat sheet, to see what beats I'm even hitting, to see what I have, what I'm missing. Then when I figure out what I'm missing, I'll be able to figure out what things I need to add, like the various character arcs that need to be added, which means I need to do backstory, I need to do a whole bunch of things in regards to those character arcs, like, because why is a character doing what they're doing? Like, there's a reason behind all of this, you know? So that kind of thing. I know I need to do backstory for my two main characters. I have a bit of a POV thought. It currently is dual POV. I have some thoughts. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? We're putting that on the side burner for a second. Stay tuned for that. Okay, finishing my plan idea. So beat sheet, and then I also thought, other than just the Save the Cat beat sheets, I also was thinking of setting this up as well. Probably... Now, I was tempted to set it up on my whiteboard. Do you hear them? Do you hear them? I was tempted to set it up on my whiteboard. What was I even saying? So, I initially was tempted to just start with this, Fabula. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people don't know what Fabula is. I haven't seen it around YouTube, to be honest. Fabula is a deck of cards that you use for... Okay, it says, okay, on the box it says, a framework for fiction writers. Ultimate tool for storytelling. Okay, Fabula is based on the 3-act structure and on the archetypes of myth and tales, and it helps you build and analyze your stories in a simple and effective way. So it has 42 cards, and each card kind of corresponds to different stages in, like, different beats, if you will. So for example, let me go to the story. Like, these are like the various parts, like who's your hero, who are your characters, who are your... Let's just leave this to the side a second. Let's go to the main. So for example, you have, okay, so it says Heroes Steps. So you have your ordinary world. You would put that on your board, and underneath you would have your POVs. Like if it's dual POV, you would have both your POVs, like ordinary world set up. Then you have the call to action. Again, you would write, you know, you would have post-its underneath with the call to action. Anxiety of the call. So this is where you're kind of like, what does the hero fear? What happens to change his or her mind? It even has little questions underneath to kind of prompt and help you figure it out. They're really, really cool, actually. Like my mom got this for me, actually, when I was writing draft 1. So then we have like Mentor's Aid and Through the Threshold, New World, Trials. There's a lot, it's a lot of like really, it's really, really cool. I think it's like, it's 3-act structure / hero's journey, if you ask me, but you know. Then it also has, so it has editing. These are called editing, like reading steps, and it has a bit more of a, I would say, 3-act, like Save the Cat kind of beats, because you have your prologue, you have your setup, your catalyst, rising action, midpoint, crisis, climax. So these are technically like the editing. Like this is technically what I would be using right now as I'm editing, like to kind of, well, technically I'm not like fully editing. I still have to add a lot of things. So I don't really need, I'm still in like this space where I'm still figuring out that I have all of these steps. Technically you would use these first, and I don't know if I'm making sense right now. I apologize if I'm not. You would use these first to set up your beats and figure out your whole story. And then when that is all written and done, you would then use these cards for the editing phase, where you kind of want to go over and make sure that you have all of the points, you're hitting all of the different points when it comes to reading and editing your book. So. I was thinking of initially doing this, but then I do want to hit the Save the Cat beats. I do hit a lot of them in my head, just off the top of my head. I didn't write based on any structure. I just wrote based on the structure that I already had kind of ingrained in my mind because of the bazillion books I've read over time. So I didn't really focus on reading the beats and write my draft based on the beats. So now I need to figure out what beats I've hit, what beats I haven't hit, what beats I need to insert. I need to figure out where, if my villain is showing up enough. I need to figure out if my characters are showing up the way I want them to, because they're not. I definitely need my main male character to be slightly different in the first half of the book. Like, I know what I need to do. It's just like, yeah. So we're setting up a preliminary beat sheet. I'm probably gonna set these up. I'm tempted to set them up on my wardrobe door and use post-its to also set this up as well, just because. Or I might even do it on the whiteboard. Like, I might just kind of play around with beats today, like just beats and stuff. Well, today, I say like I'm gonna be able to do this in one day. That's probably gonna be impossible because, you know, I mean, technically, what time is it? What time is it? My computer's turned off. It is literally 12:30, which means I need to go prepare lunch very soon. Okay. Have girls, they'll be better, they'll be quieter, they'll be, no, they're not. Anyway, so what was I about to say? My plan for today, and probably for tomorrow, if not the day after that, is beats. We're gonna set up the beats of what we have right now so that I can see in one view, have a full view of what I'm working with. So then I can actually figure out what I need to write, what I need to kind of create in regards to backstory, lore, magic systems, all of that. I need to figure that out based on the story that I already have, okay? As well as like beat sheets and stuff. That way I think I'll be able to make a proper plan of action rather than floundering around just writing random backstories and random things about magic systems. And, you know, I think that'll make more sense. I feel like that will, yeah, 1, 2, 3, following the steps. Now, with that being said, that's the plan right now. I have had this thought in my head, and I'm just going to mention it just very briefly and then let you guys, you know, I'm going to end the video here and probably start like a separate video or something, I don't even know, on me actually doing all these beat sheet stuff. Like, that'll probably be like the vlog that comes after this one, because I doubt I'll be able to. I mean, how long is this video? It's already ginormous, so, you know. Anyway, POV. I have created this whole 124,000 word draft in dual POV. And there's this idea floating around my head that I should maybe make it one point of view, just from the main female character's view. Just for, like, I don't know, mystery purposes, word count purposes. A lot of things do require his point of view, because he has access to different things that she does. But at the same time, she doesn't know anything about the world and the magic and everything, and it makes more sense kind of navigating it through her. And then I'm able to keep more secrets by not having his point of view. But then again, he's unaware of a lot of things anyway, so it's not like, I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna do like a big POV change, that would have to be now. Like, draft 3 would have to be written that way. Again, I think what I'm gonna do is set up the beat sheet and then just kind of go from there. Yes? Yes. Would it be crazy to completely change the POV now? Like, make it one POV? I don't know. Anyway, that is all for this video. That is my little update. Finishing the reading of draft 2. I am now going to jump into just kind of sorting out what I have and what I'm working with, so I can then move forward. My goal, my absolute goal right now, and that's probably what you're going to be seeing over the next few, like in the next couple of vlogs, my goal is to set up the beats and start working on what I need to prep for draft 3. That is what we're doing. By the end of this week, I want to have a full, like, beat sheet with little post-its and whatnot of what things need to be added. Like, that's my ultimate goal for Sunday. Okay? Okay. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We need a beat sheet. Is that delusional? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.